right, let's go for a drive. Stock exhaust. Woo! Man, dude, you can't lie. Stock exhaust on these 350 sound insane. But in this video, I want to go ahead, get a little POV drive in, and kind of explain why I went ahead and bought a Shelby GT350. Woo! Ooh, nice C7 over there. Not C7, C6. Go ahead and roll up my windows a little bit so y'all can hear me. Now, this GT350 is actually the first, I kid you not, this is the first S550 Mustang I've ever been in. This is the first S550 Mustang I've ever driven. And the Mustang that I had previous to this was a 4.6 liter 2-valve. So quite a drastic jump, if I say so myself. I think the only other jump that would have been probably a little bit more drastic is if I were to have jumped into, like, let's say a C6 Z06 or a C7 Z06. I think that would have been a little bit more of a drastic jump and a huge feel difference. But I'm not gonna lie, y'all, and I know a lot of people are probably gonna be upset about what I'm about to say, but about a year ago is when I decided to go ahead and really dig deep into the 4.6 liter 2-valve. Was when I really started to go ahead and, you know, build up that platform. And I don't regret doing it, but I'm gonna be honest with you. If I were to have driven this car a year ago, test drove this car a year ago, hell, even if I were to have test drove, let's say just, you know, a Gen 2 or a Gen 3 S550 with the MT82 or the 10R, I do believe I probably would have sold my 2-valve probably within a week after test driving it. Because getting into this car, because remember, I've never driven an S550, I've never been in an S550, getting into this car, coming from the new Edge platform, these newer cars, obviously with the new tech, I mean, that's not really, you know, a good, you know, comparison, but hear me out. Getting into these newer cars, it's almost like you've driven them before, and these cars basically drive themselves. I mean, with the clutch assist, you know, hydraulic clutch versus the cable clutch that's in that new Edge. I mean, these cars are, oh my God, as I kind of mess up the the takeoff there. I'm telling you, if I don't drive this car every single day, I kind of forget how to drive it, but at the same time, I quickly remember how to get, you know, back in the swing of things. These cars basically drive themselves, and so much smoother. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot more enjoyable. I know, coming from, you know, the new Edge, I know people are gonna be upset, but getting into this car from the new Edge, it is a little bit more enjoyable. Now, the new Edge feels more race car because it is older and how I had my car set up, but I'm gonna be honest, because I know a lot of people that watch my channel, I know a lot of people that are contemplating boosting their new Edges, contemplating building their motors on the new Edges, doing a lot of, you know, work and putting a lot of money into their cars. In the back of their mind, I know a lot of those guys have that idea is, hey, should I go ahead and, you know, build up my new Edge, or should I go ahead and try to get into an S550, whether it be a 10R car, MT82 car, or hell, even a GT350. And I highly recommend you guys, I'm being 100% honest, that's why I'm making this video. I highly recommend you guys going ahead and at least test driving the car before you go ahead. Dude, Houston is striking again. Test driving the car before you spend any amount of money on the new Edge, especially if you are still NA, or if you're trying to go boosted with a built motor, or, you know, strengthening up your drivetrain. I highly recommend you guys going ahead and test driving one of these S550s, because your mind might change just like that. Like I said, if I would have test drove this car a year ago, you would have saw this car on the channel literally a year ago. justify me going for a GT350 over, you know, an MT82 Gen 3 Mustang, because that would have been what I would have gotten if I didn't really care about getting the GT350, is I've always wanted these cars for years now. Like, I've been wanting a GT350 for like 7-8 years now, and it took me some time to be able to go ahead and get one. And also, because I like to drive manual, like whenever I have, you know, a toy sports car like that, I like manual. I have the 2013 Sign Up For Us, the built motor, turbo. I had a 4.6 liter 2-valve that I had a Vortex supercharger on it. So manual was something that I always wanted. Now, obviously, we know nowadays auto is faster, but at the same time, I'd rather have a car that's, you know, more fun to drive. In my personal opinion, manual is a little bit more fun to drive. Yes, it's a little bit slower, but I mean, you can't be, you know, downshifting, rev matching, and just overall just feeling like you're in, you know, more control of the car. That's kind of what I value a little bit more over the speed aspect. Obviously, I like to get down with my cars and shift it fast, you know, and go up against other manual cars, but overall, just the driving experience with a manual transmission, in my personal opinion, is going to be, you know, well worth, you know, being a little bit slower than the automatics. Now, obviously, with the TR3160 that's in this GT350, it shifts like butter. It's incredibly smooth. The stock twin disc clutch that comes in with the GT350, it's amazing. It literally shifts like butter. Now, compared to the Tremec that's in my 4.6 liter 2-valve, the 3650, and the single disc clutch that is incredibly heavy, it's an experience. And I'm telling you guys this right now, test drive either a Gen 3 car or a GT350 before you make any of your decisions, because oh my goodness, just the overall feel is it's just so much more enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of people are gonna be upset, like, oh, you're comparing a newer car, you're comparing a Shelby car to a 4.6, but let's be honest here, y'all. If you were planning on dropping a considerable amount of money on a 4.6 liter 2-valve, if you're considering going ahead and cracking open that motor, building it, and boosting your car, more than likely, you can afford to go ahead and get into either a brand new Gen 3 car or potentially a 350, depending on how far you want to take into it. Because at the end of the day, going ahead and building up those older cars, and the fact that, you know, I've pretty much done it on 2 different platforms that people would consider inferior, it is not cheap whatsoever. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. In no way, shape, or form am I bashing the new Edge platform. It's honestly one of my favorite Mustangs. It's honestly one of the better looking Mustangs, but I know some of you guys are probably wondering what my opinions were on the S550 platform after jumping from a new Edge to something a little bit newer. Now, again, my own personal opinion, if you are considering building up your new Edge Mustang, if it's not a Cobra or anything along the lines of a built motor boosted platform, I highly recommend you guys going ahead and test driving either an S550 or hell, even an S197, because you might actually go ahead and change your mind pretty quickly, man. Like literally, I went from a new Edge to a GT350, and if I would have done that a year ago, you would have saw the GT350 on the channel a year ago, believe that. But if you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications. Got some modifications and things coming to the car in the very near future. Definitely don't want to miss out on anything. And I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.